Let's discuss last year around 14 to 15 questions total asked for UPSC. Majority of them are very concept based, easy to medium questions. And here we also try to include those questions which are mainly based on concepts. If you know the concepts very well, you can easily get marks here. And there are some current affair questions also. Current affair questions, if you just go through all those topics, you can easily get marks even there too. And look at the first question. It's actually a current affair one. In the context of Indian FinStack, consider the following statement. Here, while the thing you need to be very careful is, while you reading the questions, while reading the statements, use elimination method together with it. Okay, first statement, India has the third largest fintech ecosystem globally. Actually, it is a correct statement. If you know that the first statement is correct, you can eliminate option B, C, then remain with A and D. Second statement, neo banks are online only fintech companies that operate solely digitally or via mobile banks. Actually, neo banks are those online only fintech companies that works only through online means. Okay, so it is correct statement. And these neo banks are not licensed in India till now. RBI is not giving license for neo banks separately. Yes, they can act and work as a subsidiary of the current banks that are given license, but they didn't get a license separately in our country right now. So the second statement is correct. The third statement, fintech in umbrella term denote to technological innovation having a bearing on financial service. If you know the second statement is also correct, then you can easily get into the answer, that is option B, because no options other than option D includes 1 and 2. So the answer is option D. So using elimination method is very important. Okay, then go to the second statement, second question. Paytm banks, very easy topic. Paytm banks was accorded scheduled bank status by the Ministry of Finance. What makes this statement wrong? Which portion making the statement wrong? Paytm banks, yes, of course, is a scheduled commercial bank, and the status is issued by Ministry of Finance. No, the status is accorded by the RBI, not Ministry of Finance. So that portion of Ministry of Finance make this statement wrong. So first statement is not correct. So you can eliminate option A, D, because the question is asking for not correct answer. Then second statement, payment banks were created on recommendations of the Committee on Comprehensive Financial Services for small business and low income households, headed by Nachiket More in 2030. That is also a correct statement. It is the committee Nachiket More recommended the payment banks ecosystem in our economy. So the second statement is correct. So answer option D you can eliminate. So remain with option C. Remain with option B or C. You can eliminate A and D. The minimum paid up equity capital of the payment banks is INR 100 crores and it is required to maintain a minimum capital adequacy ratio of 50%. That is also correct statement. So the answer which is asking for not correct statement, the answer is option B one only. Only the first statement is wrong. So the second question regarding Paytm banks, it is an easy question. You can get answer if you know the concept and the features related with. If you know the features of Paytm banks or the payment banks, you know the differentiated banks introduced in our country, SFBs and payment bank. This is very important topic. Okay, small finance bank and payment banks. Okay, what are the difference between SFBs and payment banks? The difference in the lending and deposit taking functions, and the difference in the branches opening, the difference in CRR and SLR keeping. So how these differentiated banks is different from other commercial banks, universal banks, that is also you have to go through. Okay, then third question, which of the following organization has recently released pillar 2 model rules for domestic implementation of 15% global minimum tax? What is this minimum tax? Global minimum tax. If a tax is for globally, then the tax should be charged on those parties which have a global presence. So it should be related with a multinational companies. Okay, so it is tax charged on this MNCs when they are trying to evade taxes globally by changing their senders from the point of their operation to the low tax charging countries. If the countries like companies like Amazon, Facebook, Apple, etc., they have global presence. They have operations all over the country. To evade tax, what they do is they send the total profit, and the calculation of their profit will be done on an area or a territory where the taxes are minimum, so they will get the benefit. Okay, even though they have presence in India where the tax rates are more than 20% for corporates, if they are centered in any low tax charging country, if the tax rate is just 15% is there, they can evade this 5% tax and they will get that added advantage. So to solve this global minimum tax of at least 50% minimum tax is introduced, and the pillar 2 model rules for this is introduced by OECD, not World Bank, WTO, or EMS. So the answer is option C, OECD.